Greetings, everyone. This is my part 2 of 3 in my marijuana series, which is long overdue to be recorded and filmed. Been very busy over the last 6 months or so since I recorded my last video. Anyway, when I originally came up with this video concept, I was just going to tell you 2 stories from my own experiences of 2 people I know who I believe were addicted to marijuana. And this is what the subject of this video is marijuana addictive? The short answer is yes, it is. Contrary with those, especially marijuana users, would like you to believe, and especially those who use it don't believe it, that it is addictive, but it absolutely is. But is every marijuana user an addict? No. In fact, the statistics say only a small number become addicted. And I have my notes here that when I did my research about it, it says one stat says marijuana use can be dependence inducing, and people who begin using before the age of 18 are 4 to 7 times more likely to develop cannabis use disorder. And if you didn't know, cannabis use disorder is the official medical term for marijuana addiction. And the second status facts and stats I found online when talking about marijuana addiction is the percentage of adults who become addicted to marijuana is 9%. However, the percentage of teens who become addicted to marijuana is 17%. As you know, a lot of people start smoking marijuana in their teens, so the first stat I read to you is even more prevalent in that area. So, a large percentage of people don't get addicted to marijuana, but it is addictive, contrary to what others say. And I want to relate to you those 2 stories that I originally intended to when I originally came up with the concept of this video. And I believe these 2 examples prove that marijuana can be addictive for some individuals. The first story is this guy I knew. He was 19 years old at the time, and he used to smoke pot every weekend when we used to have our rehearsals together every weekend at the motel at the rehearsals. And, this guy always seemed to never have any money. Actually, he never even had money for food because I always bought him lunch because he never had money for food. But he always managed to have money for pot every weekend for the pot parties he used to have every weekend. I mean, think about it. This guy was choosing pot over food. Now, if that's not an addict, I don't know what is. I mean, and it affected other areas of his life as well. This kid had an opportunity to inherit $50,000 from his grandfather, but the only stipulation was that he had to prove he could be responsible. And he just couldn't do it. This guy couldn't even hold a job for more than 2 weeks. Pathetic. But thank God, as he got older, he turned his life around, and now he owns a successful business. Thank God. He saw the light as he got older. The second example, a second person I personally know, this girl started smoking pot at the age of 16 because of the so-called cool factor. And she played sports in high school. She was on the school softball team, and she was very good at it, and potentially could have gotten a college scholarship for playing softball. That was until her school started drug testing the student athletes. And as a result, she quit the softball team because smoking pot was more important than playing sports and possibly getting a college scholarship. And she had plans at one time to go to culinary school and learn how to be a chef. Never happened. She rarely looked for a job, and on a rare occasion she would look for employment, she would only apply to places that did not drug test, because smoking pot was more important than earning money to buy food, which no one else in her family could afford to buy. That is an addict. If you want to hear a more famous case, there's a case of former NFL star running back Ricky Williams. He got suspended 4 times from the NFL for violating their substance abuse policy for smoking marijuana. And he was fined millions of dollars as a result as well as his suspensions. His addiction was so bad that he actually retired from the NFL and forego millions of dollars in income because smoking pot was more important than anything else in his life at the time. Now that, my friends, is an addiction, and a bad one at that. Pathetic. But by all accounts, he started to turn his life around and after several years, and is starting to get his life together, which I wrote about in my book, so that's a good thing. So, and speaking of my book, here's my brand new book, Deliverance from Addiction, Breaking the Yoke and Healing the Hurt. It's all about deliverance from addiction. Duh. So if you want to purchase your own copy, go to deliveranceFromAddictionBook.com. The link in the description below. And also, there's a link in the description to get my new free teaching entitled, what was that titled again? Misconceptions about Drug Addiction. That's it. So, that's all I got for you today. That's the end of part 2 of 3. Stay tuned soon for part 3 of 3, which will be entitled, Marijuana is a Gateway to More Than Just Other Drugs. Stay tuned. See you again soon. Later all.